females. Yes, my guest today is a female. 014657190. WhatsApp is 0809 597 5805. Website is nigeriainfo.fm. Twitter is Nigeria Info FM. We're on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos. And of course, you can watch my Cecile on YouTube as usual. Nigeria Info 99.3. And on Facebook, you can also see my guest face because we'll be streaming live there. So you know when you have to go and vote for her. Facebook is Nigeria Info 99.3. And my girl is back. Zainab is back. Everything is back to normal. Almost. Anyway, my guest today, without much ado, because we're starting a little bit late, is Simi Olusola. How are you?
I'm well. It's nice to be here, Ireti.
I'm very, very well. Thank you for coming. Thank you for accepting the invitation. So, you're running for Ekiti. I mean, Ikare constituency in Ekiti. I don't know much about Ekiti. But I know that when I sent the broadcast message out today, they were like, people, that's my state, yada, yada, yada. There are lots of people who, down for conversations. They like us, don't they? Very much. Very, very much. That. So, tell us a little bit about you, really, your profile, before we talk about your journey into politics.
So, I have a non-profit social impact background.
That's right.
I'd spent some time, volunteering. So I'd always known I wanted to work in the space that has to do with human capital development, development, helping make life better for people. Mm-hmm. So I started off. I'd been volunteering since 2003. So I'd found a local non-profit in Oshogbo where I grew up. So I started that way. After school, went to volunteer. After NYC, first went to volunteer in a village in Kwara State. Then went off to Ghana. Ghana came back for a while. And I was like, I'm still not doing what I wanted to do. So I resigned from a decent job and started my own nonprofit. And I started with a project called Abo Coders. Abo means female in Yoruba. So that project helps to train young women in low-income areas on software development, web development, data science, and product design. So I was doing that. We have another project as well that we do that focuses a lot on governance and helping young people demand accountability from the government, because I'm very particular about that. Yeah, so we did all of that up till last year. Aside running the non-profit, because, if you're running a non-profit in Nigeria the proper way and you really want to make impact, it takes a while. So, it was taking a lot from me. And I'm talking in terms of money. I wasn't giving back because I was trying to build a proper organization, with right systems, right processes, a global standard organization. So to make ends meet and to also do other things, I'll do a lot of consulting. I was working with other organizations. So I was working with remotely for a company in the UK working on, again, democratizing technology. I spent some time working for ALX, where I led the software engineering training program for, we had about participants from 27 countries, so I managed that. So, so that's different things.
That's kind of your background. Yeah. And you were enjoying it, clearly.
Absolutely. So hard times, but I was enjoying it.
Of course, and that's the thing. When you enjoy something, you don't often remember the hard times, do you? You just remember what you did, how you did it,
Absolutely.
And the joyful moments.
Yeah.
So you did all of that, and why politics? So what led you into politics? What was that seed that you thought, you know what, now I'm going to do this?
I already said my passion in this life is really about people, right? I don't see why the gap between the poor and the rich is that much. I believe the only difference between the poor and the rich should be luxury. We just saw Otedola leasing a yacht for 3 weeks. Let that be the difference between the poor and the rich, not education, not roads, not those basic things. Yeah. So that's always been my drive, and it's why went into the non-profit. Like I said earlier that one of our projects was on trying to get citizens to demand accountability. That work took us. We've covered 23 states. I'm at one of the most intense states we covered, Kano. We covered all the 44 local governments physically, engaging with young people at the grassroots. And after that project, we saw some success. But at that point, I started realizing that we wouldn't go far because the people on the other end were not ready to be accountable.
Right.
And there's nothing you can do. So we have is a big supply problem when it comes to good governance. The people, and we're saying it in the country, there's the impunity. Like, they don't send us. Well, maybe I should say we now. Like,
well, no, you can say us. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, like, they don't send the people. And enters, what happened? I mean, look at that. That's just the perfect example. They don't send us. So you can demand for accountability all you want. So I realized that, see, we need to fix the supply first. So the demand is the citizens. The citizens will, at some point, citizens will ask, but there's only so much you can do. So, that realizing that, started moving me towards, okay, we need to fix the supply. And one particular incident, changed everything for me. So I talked about the Abokodas project earlier. We have 4 academies: Abeokuta, Abuja, Kaduna, and Niger, Mina. Our Abeokuta Academy is the biggest one we have, and it was so easy to set up. Why? December of that year, I was introduced to the SSA, to the governor on ICT. Phone call. I called him. He missed my call. He called him back. I was very tripped. Felt like, oh, you didn't even know me. You called back, and we had a good conversation. After I told him what we do, I'm like, oh, okay. Let's meet. So we met in Abuja. I think he came to do something in Abuja. I used to live in Abuja. Yeah, I left my life in Abuja to go back to Ekiti. So we met. The next week I was because I was going to go to Lagos. So I went all the way to Abeokuta, and immediately he gave us a huge facility to run a training. He said we're going to help with publicity, which is all we needed. Just give us the space and give us people. We will bring the trainers. We'll bring our knowledge and all of that. He got us an MOU signed with the Attorney General. Everything, not in no other place have we had. It's been that stressful everywhere else. Like, just trying to, even the one other state where we worked with the government, like 6 months later, they woke up and told us to leave the space, the dingy, annoying space they had given us in the first place. So, and they got me thinking.
And this was all teaching girls STEM, right?
STEM. Yeah. So we're like, see what one person, this person wasn't the governor, he wasn't the president, it wasn't it was just an SSA to the governor. See what having one good person in government does. This person, there was never any case of him asking us for money or anything, and it was also seamless and smooth. Yeah. So that got me thinking, for me, it just confirmed what I'd been saying or what I'd been thinking, that there was a supply problem. So that told me, nah, you're really going to get into this. And so I said, okay, let me take my time, get into the party, start building. So I joined the PDP in 2019. Thought I would take some time to build, and maybe in 2027, I would run for office. But then NSARS happened, and I'm like, nah, we're not waiting any longer. We have to just get into this and build that critical mass of people in government, who will do the right thing, who have the interest of the people at heart. And so that was it for me.
So that was it. So you then decided, this is your first time of running?
Yes.
Right. Okay. And you decide to start from your state. And is that your constituency, Kere?
Yeah, that's where my dad is from. My mom is Oshun.
Is Oshun, right. Okay. Did you know that place very well?
Absolutely not. I had gone there just once before in 2000 when we buried my grandfather. Spent a day or two there. Okay, and then I'd gone there in 2018 when as an observer. I was in the civil society space, so I got to observe the Ekiti goodbye elections.
Right.
Aside that, I was thinking of running in Oshun, which is where my mom is from, and I grew up in Oshogbo. So there was like a base where a friend advised me and said, Simi, especially because you're new, said one day somebody will ask you and say, where's your father's house? And it happened to me. By the time I got to Ikere and I was I'm still because of that.
Just